Hello, Ellie here, and I am back with a brand new video. Welcome to Sally and Sam Style if it is your first time here, and for those who are returning, I thank you so much for returning to my channel. Today I have a brand new video revealing and talking about this infamous cape behind me. If you like to learn more, continue watching and let's get to chatting. I don't know where you are, but where I am, the weather outside is not quite frightful. It's warm, it's sunny. It's looking like springtime, but you know, it is the holiday season. We are full swing into December. And I wanted to review this cape, to make this cape, because this is giving all of the holiday thrills. So we will be reviewing New Look 6768. You should be seeing a picture of the pattern right here. This pattern is a pattern that I got not too long ago. It had a quick turnaround, which is very rare in my pattern collection stash, because once I organize it, put it in the folder, it kind of sits until I'm ready to actually use it. But this one didn't even make it to me taking out the contents and putting it in the manila folder as most of us sewers do. So I picked this pattern up about a month ago from what I remember. It was like in November, October, the earliest. And I love this pattern because as soon as I seen it, I thought holiday, I thought winter, and I also thought about a fabric that I have had for 5 years in my stash. So as you can see, this cape was made from some upholstery fabric that I got about 5 years ago. I remember vividly getting this fabric because this was the summer before I got married. I got married in November, had a fall wedding, and that summer prior to us getting married, I wanted to do like the whole fabric wallpaper trend that was happening. I don't know if you know about it, but it was on YouTube, and I thought, oh, let me go to the fabric store and find some upholstery fabric. So of course I went to Fine Fabrics. If you know anything about Atlanta fabric stores, Fine Fabrics is the largest fabric warehouse that we have in Metro Atlanta, and they have a ton of not only fashion fabric but all kinds of fabric, including home deck fabric. So I went in the home decor section. It's not that organized, but it's organized enough. So went over there, found this gorgeous fabric, and I was like, this is gonna make a luxurious wall in my master bedroom. So got it home and started thinking to myself, because with this trend, you actually have to use, I believe it was Mod Podge. You have to put the glue all on the not only to glue it on the wall, but on top of the fabric as well. Like you have to drench it in the glue so that it will stay on the wall. And I looked at the fabric, I was like, do I really want to mess this fabric up? So I was like, the more hesitant I got, the deeper it got into my fabric stash, and before you knew it, it was so deep, it was stored. And we all know about that stored fabric. Sometimes you have the fabric, like if you've seen in my past videos, it's the fabric on your shelving that's nice and neat, and you know, you keep it out so you can look at it. And then you have the fabric that's like stored in the storage containers in your garage or in the back of a closet somewhere. And it's the fabric, you're gonna get to it when you get to it, but you just don't have it out. Yeah, it was stored like that for years. So I was so happy when I saw this pattern because I thought I need a really thick fabric. I wanted it to hold its shape and not depend on interfacing, because interfacing can be hit or miss. So I just really wanted something that would hold its shape regardless. So this fabric was key. I actually chose to use corduroy as the lining, and you might be thinking, why? The reason why is because I wanted it to add more to the structure of it, and I also just like the ideal of it. I mean, usually I use like the silky, the silky fabrics for the lining, but for this, I just needed something that was just hardy and sustainable, and I just wanted to give it even more structure on top of the interfacing, because some of the pieces aren't interfaced, so it just stands alone with the fabric. As far as the buttons are from Fine Fabrics as well. They are really unique, like all of the buttons I've gotten from Fine Fabrics. The thing about getting buttons from there is you can find a plethora of unique buttons, but they might not be there if you need extra. So if you look closely, don't look too close, but if you look closely on the cape, I omitted one of the buttons because I had to go with the buttons that I had. So if you're new to sewing, don't get discouraged by how they tell you to do the pattern. Luckily, I started sewing without patterns. Patterns weren't a thing to me for almost a decade of my sewing career or sewing journey. They're very new to me, so I kind of have the confidence to be like, it says this, but I'm gonna do it this way. It says that, whatever, I'm gonna do it that way, and that comes with time. So I only had, let's see, 2, 4, 6. I only had 6 buttons because at Fine Fabrics they sell packs of 6. I was not going to get 12 buttons. I did not buy these buttons for this project. These buttons were bought a year ago. If you look back at my videos, I'll probably try and insert my button haul video because these buttons weren't in that video. I only had 6. It required 7 buttons. I wanted to use the buttons. I said it's gonna be 6 buttons then. So that's what I did. I omitted the last buttonhole, and it doesn't make a difference in the functionality of the garment. As far as actually sewing this garment, so as far as ease, this is considered an easy pattern. Do I consider an easy pattern? For my level, yes. Like if you have sewn with patterns before, if you're confident in sewing, if you have sewn several types of different things that require a collar, that require buttonholes, that require top stitching, that require working with multiple layers of fabric, especially thick fabric, I could consider it easy overall. Is this a beginner pattern? No. So I think that's the biggest thing to consider with patterns. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's beginner. Would I recommend this as the first sewing project someone ever does? No. Would I recommend it as the first of 5, top 5 first sewing pattern? No. I think because anything with buttonholes, that's not a beginner pattern to me. That in my opinion is not. Anything with a collar situation, anything with thicker fabrics, no, it's a no-go. So yeah, it's not super for the super experienced. You can do it if you're I would say advanced beginner. But if you are a super beginner, like this is your first pattern that you're ever doing, get some practice first. Don't waste the good fabric just yet. As far as cons to making this pattern, the cons were just being confused on why there were so many open portions of the seam. When I put together the bodice to the lower half of the cape, like where let's see if I can show you where these, like where your arms come out. Let's see if you can see that. So where my arms came out of the cape, once you put that part together, in the instructions, once you sew the seam together, it's like 2 inches here of like just leave the seam open and like another inch here. So when I got done, it was just like all these random like holes in the seam. And at first I thought that was to give like some sort of ease, or maybe it was some type of finishing for capes or something. I'm like, do I stick my finger out? Like, I don't know. So I ended up like just closing off the seam. If you're aware of why they did that, you know, like the sewing technical reason why they did that, definitely let me know. But I was kind of frustrated that at the end it didn't say, okay, now you can close all those random open holes that were created from that space. So I just used my sewing discernment to close them on my own. As far as takeaways, overall takeaways, would I sew this pattern again? Definitely. I'm already thinking about other fabrics I can make. I think this is such a statement piece that I just can't top it. Like, I've been waiting so long to use this fabric. Quite honestly, I feel like I'm giving a homage to my grandparents. If you don't know, Sally and Sam is actually my grandparents. My name is not Sally. And my husband's name is not Sam. That's actually in honor of my grandparents. They inspired me to fall in love with vintage fashion. That's where my love from all of that came from. This is why I do what I do. So when I see the fabric, it actually reminds me of their couch because they had a couch that had fabric just like that, except for it was green. And it's so much nostalgia to it. And it reminds me of something that my grandma would actually wear, because she was so like elegant and regal and would wear stuff like this. The one other thing I would like to make sure I tell you guys is talking about the practicality of the garment. So if you follow me on Instagram as Sally and Sam Style, you will see that I called this little number regal, or no, it was royal, and I talked about how regal it was, because this is a garment that you wear not for practicality. As far as wearing it, it's best to wear it buttoned up. You can wear it open, but it's not going to give the same appeal as it does closed. Your arms are limited in mobility, so this is probably not the best thing to wear if you're like trying to carry things, pick up things. It's giving I have help vibes. If you get that, it's giving I might be going on a day, and you know, my day is opening. My husband's opening the door. He's doing everything for me. I'm not doing nothing but sitting looking pretty. It's really giving that. So practicality, none. But it's not for that. It's for the glam of it all, okay? You're not gonna wear this washing dishes. This is not for the soccer game, your son's soccer game. This is not for raking leaves. Like, you're not doing anything in this. You're going out to an elegant event. You might even be going to somewhere outside where you're like, I'm thinking of like New Year's Eve, like where you don't have to do much of like raising your hands and like doing the most. Like, you're just gonna sit there and look like amazing. That's what this is for. So practicality is none. Does that take away from the pattern? No, because not everything should be worn for everything. Some things are worn for certain things, and I want us to get back to that. I think that's why I love vintage, because I mean, it was a garment for everything. It's a reason they would say like a dinner jacket. It was for dinner, it's certain garments are for certain things, and I think this is definitely the garment for when you are just basking in the glory of looking glamorous and nothing else. Yeah, so as I said, I really enjoyed making this garment. You may see another one very soon, but right now I'm really enjoying this one. I put my tag in it, if you can see that, behind the hanger. If you have this pattern, let me know in the comments. If you are inspired and you're going to go get this pattern, let me know as well. And as usual, please like the video, comment, share what you're making this holiday season. I love to hear about it. I love to get inspired from other sewers. And I thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you return, as I will be posting more and more. I am officially, after Thursday, done with this semester of my doctorate studies. So I have about a month of a break, and I will be using that month wisely to post more content. So please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you very soon. Until next time.